Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I am 216. It is another beautiful day in Seoul, Korea. As I look out the window, oh god, the sun. You know, gamers don't like the sun a whole lot. That's really a bunch of bullshit, but I guess for people who like to go outside, I don't know. It's a nice day here in Seoul. We've got, I believe, episode number 8 of PuffCast. So, this is a show where we watch Puffer play StarCraft and then we laugh or get laughed at. Who knows? You can see that we are going to jump right into it. But not right away because I always complain the first bunch of minutes, just a bunch of droning and probing and scouting and nonsense. But I suppose that's the sort of thing we need to pay attention to. So we're going to have to watch it. Just as an introduction, here we have Puffer, our Zerg player, Nom de Plume. And he is playing as the red, I guess. I don't know. Red, green. He's something. He's a Zerg. He's put down a spawning pool first, and he is playing, that's kind of a fun design. Anyway, he's playing a Protoss player, Namzix, Nammy Nam, the Slam Tam. I don't know. What should we call this guy? He's Protoss. We don't really like Protoss. I guess we really don't like anybody. If they are an opponent of Puffers, we hate them. So, we'll call him Namflam, if I can remember to call him that. Namflam, the Protoss man, has dropped a pylon in the expansion of Puffer's Natural, which I particularly hate. Almost makes me want to rage quit the cast just because of that. But I'm listening to this great music, this wonderful blues. It's an album called This Is the Blues Volume 1, featuring Jeff Beck, Mick Taylor, Harvey Mandel, T.S. McPhee, Chris and Mick Jagger, and more. And really it's the and more that makes the album. Meanwhile, there's an actual game going on, and I suppose I should talk about it. Puffer has cleared the pylon at the main at his natural. Puffer has cleared the pylon at his natural and has not taken it. And at 4 minutes and 18 seconds in, that is a long time to wait to take an expansion for Zerg, especially against Protoss. Although he knows something's up because he has this Overlord sitting camped out over Protoss's natural expansion himself, and knows that Namflam is not doing anything himself. So what is going on? An early Twilight Council, and since Protoss is now just beginning to have a little bit of money and gas saved up, it looks like a dark shrine is going down, and indeed it is. So it looks like we're going to have some Dark Templar play. I see no other reason for putting down a Dark Shrine other than to allow a gateway to produce Dark Templar. So, it looks like that's what's going to happen from Namflam. Namflam, like any normal Protoss, is being a dick and trying to do some bullshit fucking cheese, and that's why we really don't like people very much. So, that's okay, whatever, if you're going to be that way, be that way. Anyway, Namflam is dropping a bunch of stuff, a bunch of extra pylons, and it looks like another gateway, as well as the Dark Shrine, so we're up to plenty of supply room for Namflam, and Namflam loses to Zerg. I guess the Zerglings are doing some reacting, some action, and they certainly can take out this gateway. They can do a lot of damage. Hopefully that's a Stalker that's coming out. No, it just turned into Warp Gate, so all these Zerglings could be up here attacking. I guess now they need to come back and deal with these Zealots that are being warped in now, but they did have an opportunity there to do a little bit of more damage since this Zealot here couldn't move, because if he did, the Lings would have been able to get all up in Namflam's business. Meanwhile, back at the kitchen, Puffer is overmining his main, which I guess is okay since he's totally undermining his gas. Maybe he's using a couple drones to hang out there, but now he's beginning to make a transition and moves from his drones down to his natural. He's making a spore and a spine, and things are going on. I'm getting a little chatted at. So I should say something. Alright, so we're going to play some. That's exciting. I don't get a lot of people to play with while I'm up here. I'm sole because everybody I know is American. And, oh my god, I'm totally missing all the fun stuff. Dark Templars in the base, but they got, I guess, scouted? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he didn't actually scout them. He just made some preemptive, he did not scout them. He just made some preemptive spore crawlers, and they saw everything that was going on. So it looks like in the units lost tab, I guess it's pretty even, except the jig is up. Puffer now knows that there's a vulnerability to be had, and other than these, I guess he made some Archons out of the Templars he had laying around. I could have been paying a little better attention, but whatever. The game is where the game is at right now. Tries to do a run by, and he gets just a couple links to run by. These links are going to get trapped. These links could be doing a lot of damage. I mean, it could have been taking a lot of damage, but they really aren't going to be doing a lot of damage. Just 3 of them, but they can get in and get a good scout. Doesn't really make a difference. You can see everything that's going on now, though. Just a bunch of gateways and DT Dark Shrine. So that's all that's going on. That's all that's going on. He's got a natural out here that's going down, and the Puffer, who's already fully droned up in his natural and his, well, I guess it's the sacrifice of his main. Still way ahead in worker count without Mule. How is he not that far ahead? I guess I mean he's mining more gas. I don't know what's going on. The worker count, I guess, seems to be pretty equal, although Puffer is obviously mining a lot more minerals. I guess when he moves these probes, these drones to gas, it's going to be a lot less equal. So I guess things have come to a little bit of a standstill. The Protoss front has built up enough of an army to defend his stuff against the Zergling run-bys, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon. Meanwhile, he's taking a robotics bay and a robotics. Well, he's got a robotics bay. Does he have a robotics bay up? Am I like high? That is a robotics. Oh, so what I was calling robotics bay is robotics facility, and that is I am high. I'm just being stupid, so I'm high. Robotics facility going down. And presumably Robotics Bay will be coming in shortly once it gets the gas. I assume that Colossus will be coming up since once Cheese is thrown down, Cheese will continue to come. She's probably going to do Colossus all in, I don't know, whatever. Meanwhile, the Templar Archives goes down, so maybe he's going to be doing some research. He obviously put that down for a reason, so we'll see what that is later. The Starlight Council is there. He's still not done any research on that. Meanwhile, the tech path that Puffer has decided to take is upgrading, doing a little attack in Carapace, 1-1. Got a couple roaches on the board, although not a whole lot to speak of. Really just a couple queens, 5 roaches, a couple zerglings. He doesn't have a very big army, but he's not too worried about Protoss moving out, I guess. Too bad he does not have any map vision, hardly at all, but it's enough. He's chasing away this stalker here with a bunch of roaches, and I think that's enough to kind of shoo the Protoss away. It would be nice for Puffer. He probably wants to start thinking, now that he's getting close to droned up, he's got the 2-base economy with 3 gases, taking another gas, taking another couple of expansions, because 2-base Zerg is not going to deal very effectively with the 2-base Protoss, and Protoss is not quite droned up fully, but he's taking a lot of gas, and probably going to get there shortly. He's dropping another gateway, and trying to keep up with supply. No further researches have gone down. He's not doing air. A couple an Immortal coming in, and he's finally researching the Storm. So he's got the Templar Archives, and he's got a couple. Oh, the Roach attack comes. The Roach is definitely dealing some damage. That Storm finally hits right as the Roaches there. Could not be timed better, and I think the Roaches could turn around and do a little bit of fighting. But again, I'm not that good. It looks like they might have been able to take out that Archon, which was already damaged a little bit. Could have done a little bit more damage, but that's not a big deal. The Roaches did a good push, and what the important part about that is that behind it, he built an expansion. He's taking his 3rd, and he's continuing to build up a good army count. So the army count is right now a little bit in 216, a little bit in Puffer's favor, although with the gas count that high, I don't know if I really want to engage this army. They're going to have a little bit better time defending off since they're just walled in. Did strike up the uses Mothership Core, some of the energy on that to do the photon overcharge. He has enough energy for one more of those, but it was good to see some of that energy get spent up. Puffer's continuing to stay active with the roaches now, which is good. I'd like to see him, as long as he can contain this Protoss to 2 bases, of course, that's a pretty big if. Protoss is beginning to get a pretty sizable army, and now that he's building a couple of mortals, with another mortal just out, and probably another mortal to start again, I do not see that robotics bay going down, which I thought would go down. Instead, he is researching Zealot legs. Oh, wow. Okay, well, so Zealot legs, looks like the tech path is going to be Zealot legs, a couple of mortals, and some sentries with Storm. That can be kind of effective, although against roaches, I don't know how much that Storm is going to be useful. We're going to have to land a couple of them, and roaches with speed are going to be able to move around pretty fast. And the final Puff, he's getting the speed, he's already got the speed, and he's working on the tunneling claws right now. So it looks like that is going well. He's finally fully developed on his main, although he hasn't put any works into gas yet. I assume that will be happening at some point. Meanwhile, his third, he's not doing a great job of droning, but he's got a lot of money, and he really needs to focus on the gas right now, since I think he wants to build a little bit more of a balanced army. He's probably going to be teching into Hive Tech at some point. He's working with Hydralisks. Now, obviously, Roach Hydra is a pretty good way to deal with Protoss, and he does have the gases all filled up now, so that is a good way to be going about things, and let's see how it develops. The Infestation Pit finally went down. He's probably working on his 2-2 now, and he is. And with that Infestation Pit, he's going to be able to get Hive Tech and get those 3-3 upgrades. And I really think that just with Roach Hydra, he's going to be able to deal a lot of damage. In fact, there's a Phoenix Scout going across the map, and I don't know why. Yeah, he shouldn't really be trying back to try to engage a Phoenix Scout. He really wants to make sure that he deals damage to this army. I think it would be good for him to just trade armies at this point and prevent this third from going down. But you can see he just attacked his own. He drops. Okay, so the storms go down, and they just really melt the roaches. That was too bad. That was not a great engagement. And like I said, a lot of the roaches needed to come back. Oh, and they can take out that Templar while he's building. That would have been really helpful. Turn and fight, man. But he's just trying to run away. It's really okay. It's really okay. I'm going to calm down. It might have been better for him to wait for 2-2 to finish, because it just did. But it was good for him to get in and see that the third hadn't been built yet. So as long as he just continues to drone up, he's spent a lot of that gas. He's burrowed his roaches, which is good. So now he's being able to heal them really quick. In fact, they're already healed. Good God, man, that works fast. Everything's good to go. He's building up another army. He's already ahead in army mineral supply. And we'll see how that goes. Oh, the army gets to his front base. Hopefully he can unburrow these and use them in the fight. He's not doing that, though. He's fighting with half his army. Finally, they come back, and I think that could be a big deal to fight with all your army, because it looks like this army of the Protoss is diminishing rather quickly. The Protoss army does manage to take out his third, which is too bad, because they are really outmatched by this Zerg army, which is now giving chase, and Protoss has taken the gold expansion behind it, but their army is tiny compared to this of the Zergs. Now, Zerg is continuing to spend their money and keep it low. He's already retaken that hatch, and he should be taking a fourth, really, although he is spending his money and building up as much army as he can, which I think is important. He's got 8 Hydralisks on the way, and he's doing the Hydralisk speed, which is important as well. Puffer's got his burrowed roaches unburrowed, and he sees that there's no third at the natural third, but he wants to go up and check the gas. Wants to check the gold expansion. The difficulty here is that his roaches are ahead of his hydras, and if he gets attacked, he really wants to make sure that his hydras are not the ones engaging. Now, he doesn't have any vision of that gold, so he does not know that it's there. Fortunately, it's just now completed, and he doesn't have any mining there. Of course, if it was Terran, they'd have the mules, and it would be mined out by now, because they would have probably... meanwhile, there's a drop in the main. The Dark Templars are in the main. They've taken out all of his major stuff. The Roach Warren's gone. Oh my God, and they're going to warp out of there. So it was a Dark Templar drop or a warp. We didn't see that. They took out the Hydralisk, and they took out the Roach Warren. It's too bad. The Hydralisk probably aren't going to get their speed now, and he's now just gotten in the way of his development. He really should just go and attack now. He's got plenty of army. Keep a couple guys back. A couple guys back is all he needs. But he checks his own gold. I guess that's important. Checks his own gold. He's going to go out, push out. Hopefully he'll be able to do a lot of damage. He should be able to run into this army head on and just do a lot of damage. He's now going to see the gold, so he knows what the target needs to be. And here, his army is just going to engage. Get a good engagement. All of the Hydralisk gets blocked off. Meanwhile, he tries to retreat, which is good news for our Zerg friend, because Puffer is going to be able to get in and take out the gold expansion, which is really all he needed. The Protoss is drastically outmatched. Now, if all these guys turn and fight, move in, get away from the storms, because the Hydralisk are going to be taking a lot of damage. Keep pushing in, and they should just let it go, take out the rest of these units, finish off the gold, prevent any more expansions. This should be the end of the game. Hopefully we'll see a good game here soon. There's a lot of Hydralisks left. They're going to be dealing tons of damage, taking everything out. Hydralisks are not what you want to use to tank, but as long as you get in here and take out these mineral-producing patches as quickly as possible, Protoss is completely mained out of their main, and their natural, he has not done a lot of mining anyways, but that's going to be a 1-base Protoss against a 2 or 3-base Zerg. Well, 2-base Zergs because he's mined out as well, which makes sense. Meanwhile, it looks like this is the end for our Protoss friend, Nam Flam. Yeah, idiot. Yeah, I'm the idiot. I'm the one running around talking to myself in a room, calling people Namflam and listening to blues, but that's the way it goes. Now, of course, I'm pretty aggressive. I would want to just push out here. I can also see the active forces tab and see that he's completely dominating this matchup right now, but our friend Puffer choosing to take it a little more slowly. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's taking a fourth. There we go. That's what he's trying to do. Trying to secure his advantage. He's done a great job. He's pushing this creep out. You can see that this creep tumor is continuing to spread, and that is good news. We see a push out along the creep highway, and Protoss running a little probe out into the middle of nowhere, which is fine. Trying to take this third, thinking that the gold was up for grabs and too easy to attack. Gets a cancel on that, and I can't see anything that our Protoss friend is going to do. He has no money. Finally does the last round of Zealots. Puffer runs a little small reaction force in to deal with that, and they just get taken out really rather quickly. I don't know if that's given a false sense of confidence as this little roach is running for dear little life. Running back home to mommy. Should burrow and probably get his health back because he needs to heal up really quickly. At this point, Puffer has a couple of infestors out, and I guess he's just waiting to do a little bit of the killing blow. I don't know. I think he is just toying with this Protoss guy now. Or maybe he just doesn't worry about how much damage he actually dealt. Now, he doesn't have any vision of what's going on at any of these other bases, so there could be ninja hatches, and he hasn't checked his own gold in a while, and he hasn't checked up in the Protoss's natural gold for quite a while. So he does that just now. I think that he probably knows that there's not a lot of expansions, even if he hasn't checked explicitly, because Protoss is not producing very many units, and he isn't able to do very much. So Puffer looks like he's amassed the force he wants. I know that he generally likes to have 4 infestors, which chooses to burrow. I'm not exactly sure why. They're going to be slow to catch up, and he's got plenty of army to defend them. But they're going in a different direction. Maybe they're going off to scout the extra bases while he just charges through the main natural expansion of the Protoss. The infestors come down to check the natural third, which they see is not there, and they definitely do that. And he's just moving back and forth, checking out, doing a little bit of a chill time, and really not sure what to say. Puffer's just taking it slow and easy, really keeping the macro game going. He's got a lot of mineral banks saved up. He's got presumably a lot of larvae. We can do a little larva check. Yeah, a bunch of larvae saved up at all of his bases. 19 larvae, plenty of bank, should be able to do just fine. So let's listen to some blues for a second and watch Puffer finish this game off. Yeah, Protoss is trying to amass a bunch of army units, not able to take an expansion, trying finally to put one down. I guess he's using this. You can see that this army's here so that it's not going anywhere. I mean, he knows that Protoss now knows that the Zerg army is chasing him around and isn't going to be able to do a lot of damage, which is probably not a bad idea. They're hoping to get that gold base taken. The super highway is getting right up onto the door though, and they are not able to detect it or do anything about it. Have chosen not to do anything about it, and now the vision is showing that the base is taken. You can see it right now. He's totally scouting it. Not a big deal. It's going down, and there's nothing at all that Protoss is going to be able to do about it. But this has got to be the final push. Protoss comes out, really gets a pretty good engagement just up against the lots of those Hydralisks. Oh, and just crushes the little Hydralisk donut. That was about as dangerous as Protoss can be with the limited resources they had. In fact, that was a terrible engagement by the Zerg, and Protoss just crushed his army, absolutely destroying it. That was immediately evening up the entire score. I don't know what to say about that. That was ridiculous. That was just a terrible engagement by Puffer, and if he wasn't up to it, just a huge economic lead, I would say that would be the end of it. But that is just what Protoss needs to get back into the game. Protoss not being really aggressive and choosing to move out across the map with what he has, which is too bad because there was an immediate remaxing, and there's no Hydralisk to speak of. Merely roaches, which are not going to be dealt with so easily by those storms, which I should also point out have already been dealt. So those High Templars only have 84, 85 energy right now. Not going to be able to land a lot of those storms anyway. Only a couple, and just he gives them the good game, and that's all that she wrote. So another pretty good game, despite Puffer's best efforts. He manages to win that game. Woo! Not bad at all. I'm going to sit back and enjoy that. Pretty interesting game. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Puffer, good game. Way to try to lose it there at the end. That was pretty awesome. And anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed watching the game as much as I enjoyed talking about the game. I hope everybody has a good day. This is 216. Thank you for watching.